He's an engineer, and you want your engineer to love research. So for your building project, right?
Definitely.
And
Right.
so he came home from engineering school at LSU, about 7 hours from Little Rock, Baton Rouge is, and he was listening to podcasts, 2015, 16, 17, early adopter. And he said, Mom, have you heard about this intermittent fasting? I said, if you're telling me because you think your mother needs to lose weight, you won't see your 21st birthday because he was 20. That's the kind of mother I am. He goes, no, Mom, I'm telling you because it's about health. And I said, what does starving yourself have to do with health? That was my reply. I got so defensive. And he goes, I don't know. I listen to these women. It was Jen Stevens and Melanie Avalon, but Jen Stevens, he goes, they're Southern and they laugh a lot. So I don't, because it's two women. He goes, but it's
Yeah.
called the Intermittent Fasting Podcast. And so that was a Friday night. I said, "So, okay, I'm an easy sell." I like, "Tell me more." And he goes, this was 6:30 at night. He goes, "Don't eat again till tomorrow at 12:30." And I went, "Go that long?" Like, "Oh my God." And so I did that the first day. This is when I used to be on the radio here. And so on those morning shows, you get up at about 3:30, 4 a.m., 4:30,
Yeah.
depending what time you have to be at the station. So I was getting up at 3:45 a.m., which also wrecks your circadian health. I mean, but it's what I had to, it's
Sure.
what I did. And so the next day I was fine. And then the next on Monday morning was my first time back on the radio where I will not have eaten ever. I mean, I was like, not eat before I'm on the radio. How can I entertain 100,000 people? And he was like, you're going to be fine. I said, if I die, this is on you. And he said, you're not going to die, Mom. So I didn't tell anyone. And then a few weeks later, like on the radio, I said, I've been toying with this thing called intermittent fasting. So this is 2017. And I got to know Jen Stevens. I reached out to her and said, would you be on? I was hosting some radio show or something for somebody else. And sure. And so we got to know each other. And then it totally changed my life. In a month, I lost 10 pounds and I was eating what we call an 18 and 6 window. I fasted for 18 hours and I feasted for 6. And then that, gets you through the metabolic process where you're not insulin resistant anymore. So I was insulin resistant for so many years.
Yeah.
No one told me. Like me being hungry all the time, that's a symptom something's not right.
Right. Yep.
Right. I'm only hungry when the fuel in my tank is low. Remember? Back to
Mhm.
topping off the fuel tank, you would never do that. But when my fuel tank is low, then I'm like, oh, it's time to eat. And then I eat, I stop, and I don't eat again until it's time to eat. And it's always within the time that the sun is up because I really am locked into the circadian rhythm. So that was the first thing that started helping me reduce some of my autoimmune conditions, this rare swallowing disorder. My clinician is an advanced clinician for gastroenterology, a GI doc who has he's known as an advanced clinician. He said he's never had anyone ever reverse their achalasia, but he said, you have. And he said, I've never seen it. He goes,
Awesome.
I said, what do you think it is? He said, he knew I was an intermittent faster. He said, we were never designed to eat all day and digest.
Yeah.
And he goes, you give your digestion, because mine's a motility disorder with my esophagus. And he goes, you've
I see.
given your esophagus a break. Your lower esophageal sphincter can work more effectively because you only eat in this amount of time. Your body does all the work again while the sun's up,
Right.
and then you're done. So it changed my
That is
life.